Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome to Jinjin's Cosmic if you didn't happen to be here. Perhaps it's time to meet your soul.
Okay, dear Libra, prepare yourself. A pivotal moment, an undeniable shift, is not just approaching your life, but is already unfolding around you. This isn't a mere possibility or a fleeting chance. It's a certainty that has been meticulously woven into the fabric of your reality, even if you haven't consciously perceived it yet. As you absorb these words, understand that the most profound transformation of your existence is on an irreversible trajectory toward you. For years, many of you, my dear Libras, have moved through life with a certain grace, a natural inclination towards harmony. You've sought balance, often at great personal cost, striving to maintain equilibrium in your relationships, your environment, and even within your own soul. This inherent drive for peace, while beautiful, has sometimes led you to suppress your true desires, to quiet the insistent whispers of your authentic self, all in the service of external calm. You've learned to adapt, to compromise, to soften your edges so as not to ruffle any feathers, becoming a master of appeasement. But what if this very comfort, this meticulously constructed harmony, has quietly become a gilded cage? What if the stability you've so diligently sought has, in fact, been a subtle form of resistance to the expansive, magnificent life you were always destined to lead? I know this might sound unsettling, Libra, but I invite you to pause for a moment. Right now, in the comments below, I want you to honestly answer this question. What version of yourself have you been keeping hidden, tucked away from the world, simply because you feared judgment or disapproval? If putting it into words feels too vulnerable, simply write, "I am ready to stop hiding." Because in that simple act of acknowledgement, you begin to dismantle the very walls that have kept your true radiance concealed. You activate a profound energetic shift, signaling to the universe and to yourself that you are now prepared to embrace the monumental changes ahead. Your courage in sharing, even this symbolic truth, acts as a beacon, a shared understanding for other Libras who are walking a similar path, struggling with the very same fears. Your voice, in its authenticity, becomes a catalyst for collective liberation. Now, let's delve deeper into this approaching transformation. Imagine, if you will, standing on the precipice of a vast, uncharted landscape. You've lived in the comfortable familiarity of the valley below for so long, believing its boundaries were the limits of your world. But a force, immense and unyielding, is about to carry you to the mountain peak, revealing vistas you couldn't even dream of from your old vantage point. This isn't just about small, incremental adjustments to your life. This is a seismic shift, an undeniable force that will cleave your existence into two distinct epochs, before and after. You might be feeling it already, this subtle tremor in your spirit, a growing restlessness that defies explanation. It's not anxiety in the conventional sense, but rather your soul's profound preparation for an impact so significant it will fundamentally redefine who you are, what truly drives you, and the very direction of your life's journey. It's an inner knowing that a more authentic, unburdened version of you is on the cusp of being born. This isn't a gentle evolution. It's a profound revolution, an explosion of boundless possibilities that will shatter every perceived limitation you've unknowingly accepted as your reality. And from these shattered fragments, your entire world will be meticulously reconstructed upon foundations that are truly aligned with your deepest truth. This profound impact, dear Libra, will leave no corner of your life untouched. Consider your relationships those delicate dances of give and take that you've so often orchestrated. Consider your career the path you've carved, the roles you've played. Consider your very self-perception, your innermost dreams, and even those lingering fears that have held you captive. Every single aspect will undergo a radical metamorphosis, and here's where the vulnerability might surface. This force is largely beyond your conscious control. You cannot hasten its arrival, nor can you delay its unfolding. It simply is. The only true power you wield in this moment is how you choose to receive it when it finally arrives. Will you meet it with resistance, clinging to the familiar, making the process more arduous and painful? Or will you open your heart, embrace the unknown, and allow this to be the most liberating, awe-inspiring experience of your entire life? Because this impact is not designed to dismantle you. It's designed to liberate you from a confining prison you may not have even realized you were inhabiting. For far too long, many Libras have lived a diminished version of themselves. A version that instinctively adapts, gracefully sidesteps conflict, and accepts far less than you truly deserve, all in an effort to keep those around you comfortable. This is the version that prioritizes the needs of others over your own, meticulously avoids making decisions that might displease anyone, and constantly seeks external validation as a compass for your worth. This particular, carefully constructed, diminished version of you is now destined to be utterly transformed by the approaching impact. And in its place, a being of immense power and authenticity will emerge, someone you can barely conceive of in this very moment. Think of the most courageous, unapologetically authentic, and magnetically attractive individuals you know. Those who navigate life with an unwavering sense of self, making decisions from their core truth, attracting incredible opportunities simply by existing fully. These individuals are not exceptional because they were born under a different star. They became exceptional because they embraced a transformative impact that freed them from all the limiting beliefs they had once accepted as undeniable truths. And my dear Libra, you are now poised to experience the very same profound awakening. This greatest impact of your life won't be an external force imposed upon you. Instead, it will erupt from within, an explosion of dormant energy that has yearned for expression for years. It's as if your true essence, weary of being suffocated by expectations and fears, has decided, unequivocally, to shatter every barrier you've meticulously erected around yourself and finally manifest in its full, unbridled power. When this internal awakening occurs, you will feel as if you are seeing the world anew. Colors will appear brighter. Possibilities that once seemed utterly unattainable will suddenly become not just achievable, but truly inevitable. Now, for those Libras specifically attuned to different facets of this grand design, for those born between September 23rd and October 2nd, This impact will primarily manifest as a complete revolution in the way you engage with others. The era of accepting emotional crumbs will end. You will begin to demand connections that deeply honor and fully appreciate the magnificent being that you are. For Libras born between October 3rd and 13th, the impact will explode in the realm of personal expression and creativity. Talents that have lain dormant, perhaps even unknown to you, will awaken with a force that will astonish even your own perception of self. And for those born between October 14th and 22nd, the revolution will unfold within the very core of your purpose and personal fulfillment. You will unearth a mission so clear, so potent, that you will genuinely wonder how you managed to navigate life for so long without this profound clarity. What all Libras will universally experience is the definitive dissolution of your deep-seated need for external approval. This ingrained aspect of your personality, which has subtly dictated so many of your decisions, which has inadvertently prevented you from shining in your full brilliance, and which has kept you metaphorically small so as not to inconvenience anyone, will simply cease to exist. And in its place, a foundation of inner confidence will solidify, so unshakable that the opinions of others will become utterly irrelevant to your authentic choices. It is crucial to recognize that this impending shift is not an isolated incident in your personal narrative, dear Libra. It is, in fact, an integral part of a much grander, more expansive movement currently sweeping across our planet. Thousands of individuals, much like yourself, who have spent years diminishing their essence to conform, are now being simultaneously activated, called to step into their inherent power. It's as if the universe itself has decreed that the time has come to elevate the global standard for authenticity. And to achieve this, it requires the awakening of those who possess the unique potential to lead by luminous example. You, Libra, have been chosen to be a vital participant in this collective awakening, not by some random twist of fate, but precisely because of the extraordinary qualities you inherently possess. Your natural ability to forge harmony, when wielded from a place of genuine authenticity rather than a reactive fear, holds the power to utterly transform the quality of every relationship you encounter. Your exquisite sensitivity, your capacity to perceive the intricate nuances of human interaction, when channeled to honor your own profound truth instead of merely pleasing others, can create connections of a depth that most people can barely even imagine possible. This coming impact will reveal, with blinding clarity, that everything you once considered a limitation was merely a form of conditioning, a set of beliefs you accepted as undeniable truth. Your perceived difficulty in making decisions, which may have long been a source of frustration, will transform into an extraordinary ability to discern multiple possibilities and, with unwavering conviction, choose the path that most profoundly resonates with your authentic essence. Your tendency to recoil from conflict will evolve into a unique and powerful capacity to orchestrate resolutions that gracefully serve all parties involved, without ever diminishing your own truth. And your long-held need for approval will transmute into a natural magnetism that effortlessly attracts individuals who genuinely appreciate, value, and celebrate the magnificent person you truly are. However, for this profound transformation to fully unfold, you must be prepared to navigate a period of intense shattering of old patterns. And let me be clear, this will not always be a comfortable experience. There will undoubtedly be moments where you feel adrift, questioning every single belief you've ever held about yourself. There will be days when it feels as though your entire life is crumbling around you, where the very structures that once provided a sense of security will appear fragile, perhaps even inadequate. You will encounter situations where you are faced with a stark choice. Either cling to relationships built upon the false, diminished version of yourself, or courageously risk periods of solitude until connections that honor your authentic self organically emerge. These moments of profound discomfort are not indicators that something has gone awry. Quite the contrary, they are unmistakable signals that something incredibly right, something deeply necessary, is happening. It is an immutable truth that you cannot birth a new, empowered version of yourself without the previous, limited version gracefully dying away. And every death, even when it is utterly necessary and ultimately liberating, involves a natural process of grieving. You will mourn the loss of the false sense of security that came from being predictable and perceived as harmless. You will miss the deceptive simplicity of not having to confront difficult decisions or stand firmly in your truth. You will question, perhaps repeatedly, whether the peace derived from conformity is truly worth surrendering for the beautiful, yet sometimes tumultuous, journey of authenticity. But when you navigate through this period, and I assure you, you absolutely will, you will discover on the other side a form of peace that is far deeper, far more resonant, and profoundly real. It is the peace that blossoms from the unwavering knowing that you are living in total alignment with your innermost truth. It is the serenity that arises from effortlessly attracting into your life only those individuals and situations that genuinely resonate with the magnificent being you truly are. It is the profound calm that comes from no longer needing to carefully curate different versions of yourself for different people, because you are consistently and authentically the same radiant individual in every single context. The destiny that is orchestrating this monumental impact in your life, dear Libra, possesses an understanding of you that surpasses even your own self-knowledge. It knows, with absolute certainty, the immense strength you possess to navigate and integrate this coming transformation. It is fully aware that beneath all the layers of needing approval and the fear of conflict lies an extraordinary courage, a latent power that is now poised for activation. It knows unequivocally that you are far more prepared for this personal revolution than your conscious mind can currently comprehend. In the unfolding days and weeks, you will begin to perceive the initial tremors, the first unmistakable signs that this impact is drawing near. Situations that you once tolerated without question will suddenly begin to deeply disturb you, stirring a restless need for change. Individuals who have, perhaps subtly, managed to manipulate you emotionally will discover, to their surprise, that their established strategies simply no longer hold any sway. Opportunities that inherently demand you to be more visible, more authentic, and more courageously true to yourself will begin to appear on your horizon. And instead of instinctively retreating from them, as you might have in the past, you will feel an undeniable magnetic pull to embrace them fully. These are not random occurrences. They are the initial tremors before the main earthquake, the meticulous preparations your soul is undertaking to ensure that when the full impact finally arrives, you are not merely ready to face it, but prepared to harness its power for your greatest good, rather than retreating from its transformative force. Because the more you resist what is inevitably coming, the more painful and drawn out the process will become. But the more you consciously open yourself to this profound transformation, the more it will flow with the grace of a cosmic dance, a beautiful interplay between the person you once were and the magnificent being you are powerfully becoming. Libra, there is a fundamental truth I need you to grasp about this monumental impact. It will not merely refine or slightly improve your current life. Instead, it will grant you access to an entirely different existence, a life so expansive, so filled with possibility, that you cannot even begin to imagine it from your current perspective, simply because it lies so far beyond what you have ever considered attainable for yourself. It is akin to having spent years dwelling in a quaint, familiar cottage, only to suddenly discover that an entire, magnificent mansion has always been yours, waiting to be explored, a mansion you never even realized existed. The version of you that emerges after this profound impact will look back at your past self with a blend of gentle compassion and immense gratitude. Compassion for the person who did the very best they could with the level of consciousness they possessed, and intense excitement for the boundless possibilities that unfurl when you courageously choose to live from your full and authentic truth. This newly awakened version of you will attract and experience things that your current self can barely conceive of as possible. Relationships where you are not required to diminish your light to be loved, but rather where your brilliance is celebrated. Professional opportunities that genuinely value the unique qualities that make you, you. Situations where your inherent sensitivity is recognized and revered as a superpower, rather than perceived as a vulnerability. Moments where your remarkable ability to see multiple facets of an issue is honored as profound wisdom, instead of being misconstrued as indecisiveness. This coming impact will reveal, with crystal clarity, that you were never indecisive out of weakness. You were simply operating within a framework of options that were too limited, too restrictive, to truly satisfy the expansive desires of your soul. When you finally gain access to possibilities that genuinely resonate with your deepest essence, your decisions will flow with a clarity and an intuitive precision that will astonish even yourself. You will discover that you have always possessed an impeccable internal compass, but you were attempting to navigate a terrain that simply did not correspond to the magnificent map of your soul. The sheer magnitude and power of this impact will be directly proportional to the length of time you have spent consciously or unconsciously repressing your true nature. The more you have subtly hidden your light, the more explosive and brilliant your emergence will be. The more you have diminished yourself to fit into restrictive spaces, the more expansive and boundless your transformation will become. The more you have accepted less than you truly deserve, the more abundantly life will respond when you finally begin to demand what your soul truly yearns for. And here's a truth that may, at first, surprise you. The people in your life who genuinely love and cherish you will wholeheartedly celebrate this profound transformation. Even if they are initially taken aback by your newfound radiance, it is because they have always, on some deeper level, sensed there was something more within you, waiting patiently to emerge. They have always intuitively felt that you were holding back, that a fuller, more vibrant version of you rarely surfaced. When that authentic version finally becomes your permanent mode of being, they will feel a sense of relief, a profound inspiration, and a deeper connection to the true you. However, those individuals who attempt to persuade you to revert to your old self, the compliant, adaptable version, will inadvertently reveal that their interest was never truly in who you authentically are. Their attachment was to the role you played for them, the role of the person who always yields, who always accommodates, who never presents their own needs as an inconvenience. When you courageously cease to play that role, they will, perhaps painfully, show you their true colors. And while this clarity may initially sting, it is ultimately a profound gift, for you will finally understand which relationships in your life are built upon the solid foundation of genuine love and mutual respect, and which were merely rooted in convenience or a need for control. This understanding will empower you to consciously invest your precious emotional energy only in those who truly see you, value you, and unequivocally support your journey. And you will discover, with profound joy, that when you cease expending energy on relationships that deplete you, you will have an abundance of vitality to dedicate to those connections that truly nourish your soul and uplift your spirit. This profound impact will also radically reshape your relationship with your work and your chosen career path. You will no longer tolerate positions or environments that demand you suppress essential aspects of who you are. Instead, you will instinctively seek out opportunities where your exquisite sensitivity, your innate ability to foster harmony, and your balanced, nuanced vision are not merely tolerated, but actively celebrated and profoundly valued. This may necessitate significant, even drastic, changes in your professional trajectory or your workplace, but the deep, abiding satisfaction you will experience from aligning your vocational life with your authentic self will render any transition utterly worthwhile. In the moments preceding this monumental impact, dear Libra, you may experience an intensification of all your emotions. You might find yourself feeling more sensitive than usual, more profoundly emotional, perhaps even more reactive to your environment. Do not misinterpret this as a sign that something is amiss. On the contrary, it signifies that your inherent sensitivity is being amplified, meticulously preparing you for the elevated level of perception and awareness you will embody after this transformation. You are, in essence, being recalibrated to operate at a significantly higher frequency. During this crucial period of preparation, be exceptionally gentle and kind to yourself. Do not pressure yourself to maintain the same energetic output or emotional equilibrium as always. If you are feeling different, allow yourself the grace to rest more deeply, to reflect more profoundly, and to simply feel every emotion that arises without judgment. Your energetic system is undergoing a monumental upgrade, and any resistance to this essential process will only make it more challenging and potentially prolonged. Furthermore, I urge you to pay meticulous attention to your dreams during this time. They may carry profound messages about what is unfolding, subtle clues about how to best prepare, or simply be a conduit for processing emotions and memories that require integration before the full force of this grand transformation. Keep a journal by your bedside and diligently record everything you can recall upon waking, even if it initially seems fragmented or meaningless. The destiny that is orchestrating this impact in your life is also meticulously arranging all external circumstances to unequivocally support your transformation. The right individuals are being strategically placed in your path. Relevant opportunities are being perfectly aligned. The resources you will undoubtedly need are being made readily available. Crucial information is reaching you through the most diverse and unexpected channels. None of this is mere coincidence. When you begin to consciously perceive the exquisite synchronicity of how everything is falling into place perfectly to facilitate your evolution, you will gain a visceral, undeniable understanding that a far greater intelligence is operating within your life, an intelligence that knows you intimately and completely, that understands precisely what you need and when you need it, and that is orchestrating your life with a precision that transcends any human planning or foresight. This profound awareness will instill within you a deep and unwavering confidence in the transformative process you are currently undergoing. Even in moments when you don't fully comprehend every unfolding detail, you will possess an inherent knowing that you are being guided by a wisdom infinitely grander than your own. You will be able to gracefully relax into the natural flow of this transformation, rather than futilely attempting to control or direct it according to your conscious, often limited, perceptions. The greatest impact of your life is arriving now because, quite simply, you are finally ready for it. All the preceding years of preparation, every challenge you meticulously navigated, every profound lesson you painstakingly absorbed, all of it has converged to bring you to this precise point of maturity, where you are fully capable of receiving and integrating a transformation of this immense magnitude. You are not being tested. You are not being punished. Instead, you are being profoundly promoted to an entirely new and elevated level of existence. And when that impact finally arrives, and it will very soon, you will realize with unshakable certainty that it was not something external that suddenly appeared. It was, in fact, something that had always resided within you, patiently waiting for the optimal conditions to powerfully emerge. Fate is not bringing something foreign or new into your life, dear Libra. It is, in essence, meticulously guiding you back to your truest self. It is systematically peeling away all the accumulated layers of conditioning, fear, and self-imposed limitation that have, until now, subtly concealed your natural, inherent magnificence. Libra, do not, I implore you, fear this profound impact. It is the undeniable proof that your life is not destined to remain trapped in old, familiar patterns. So often, the very thing that frightens us the most is precisely what holds the key to our ultimate liberation. This pivotal turning point is your sacred opportunity to consciously release what no longer serves your highest good, and to courageously embrace the most powerful, authentic version of yourself. Will you choose to resist this impending impact, clinging to the fading echoes of the past? Or will you, with open heart and spirit, allow it to be the powerful catalyst for your most profound transformation? This particular energetic movement, I must emphasize, is not something that is easily replicated or frequently offered. It is happening now, in this very cycle, carrying a rare and potent energy that can only be experienced once in this unique configuration. If you fail to pay diligent attention, you risk missing the precise moment the universe is swinging wide its doors, inviting you into an entirely new chapter of your existence. And if this truly were your single, precious chance to experience the most monumental transformation of your life, would you possess the courage, the conviction to wholeheartedly embrace it? Libra, destiny is already in motion. The impact will come, and when it does, you will harbor absolutely no doubt that your life has ascended to an entirely new, elevated level. If you have journeyed with me this far in this video, if these words resonate within your heart like profound truths you've always known, but perhaps never been able to fully articulate, then this unequivocally confirms that you are deeply attuned to the powerful frequency of this transformative impact. You did not stumble upon this message by mere chance. It found you precisely because you are ready to receive its profound insights, and ready to act upon what is being communicated to your soul. I encourage you now, share in the comments below. How do you feel after truly absorbing this revelation? What emotions have been stirred within you? What memories, perhaps long dormant, have been activated? What lingering fears, yes, but also what profound excitement has surfaced? Your personal experience, courageously shared, may be the very insight another Libra needs to read, to feel less alone in this intense process of preparing for a radical, life-altering transformation. And because what will unfold for you in the coming weeks and months will require specific guidance and unwavering support, I urge you to subscribe to this channel now. Activating notifications will ensure you receive continuous insights on how to skillfully navigate a transformation of this magnitude, how to gracefully integrate the magnificent new version of yourself that will emerge, how to wisely deal with the varied reactions of those around you, and most importantly, how to fully maximize the incredible opportunities that will arise when you operate from your complete and unvarnished authenticity. You are not destined to journey through this alone. There exists a thriving community of individuals, much like you, who are simultaneously undergoing similar profound awakenings. And together, We can ensure this process is not only more fluid and less daunting, but also deeply enriching. The greatest impact of your life is not approaching to destroy you, my dear Libra. It is coming with magnificent force to liberate you. Get ready for your real life. The life you were always meant to live is about to truly begin. And the person you are powerfully becoming is so extraordinary, so breathtakingly authentic, that you can barely even imagine it right now. Destiny knows your boundless potential far better than you do, and the time has finally arrived for you to unlock every single possibility you have always possessed. This is your moment.